Hello, Orville Nation. Welcome, everybody. I forgot to put in the intro. Today's just been one of those days. Welcome, Katie Adega and Baron Destructo. Welcome, you guys. How are you doing?
Hey.
Excellent.
Doing great, especially now that I have a little bit of closure.
Yeah. Well, that was the whole point, to give fans closure. Of sorts.
So much appreciated.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Then I like Closure of the Locked Doors with Portia and I can't forget the other guys. 3. Yeah, Stuck in the Room. Boone, right. Fooled by 3.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, actually, I hadn't reread those in ages. And, actually got quite excited reading episode 2. I was like, oh, that would have been a great episode. Yeah.
And Nina's here. Welcome, Nina.
Hey,
There she is. Oh, look
what's
at you.
on?
All rested from your vacation.
Oh yeah, you would think so, but
And
I
you
feel like
missed out
I need a vacation from the vacation now. So
Mm-hmm.
how are you guys?
Good. Any vacation pictures you're going to show us?
Not necessarily. I will tell you this: everybody should, at some point in their life, visit Holbox Bioluminescent Beach because it's one of the most memorable experiences of my life, and it was magical. It's magical. It's like something out of science fiction, but it's actually on Earth. You don't really feel like you're on Earth, though. It's very, very surreal.
Is that one of those red tide things where you put your hands in the water and it glows?
Yes. You walk and it's like you're walking on stars, and the whole Milky Way is above you, and then you look down and you're literally like walking on stars as you're looking. So it's like as above, so below. It's very surreal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me just say hi to everybody. Hello, Deanna. Hello, Planet Thogar. Hello, Time Prophet. Gap Stargate. Louise, Rapunzel. I have to show something from Rapunzel. William Jackson, Dave Bob. Go ahead.
By the way, last week, I'm so sorry that I totally interrupted your. I really tried hard to. I was like, let me see if I could make it, and then I sounded like I was from another planet. I was like, I'm here. No words coming through.
We're glad you popped in. Thank you for popping in.
Melissa and Zoe's face were like, "What the hell?" Like, who?
Joe, do you want to? Yeah, that was. We're glad you popped in. We were missing you.
I missed you guys too.
I do want to. Joe, do you want to tell us who was the wonderful human being who put this all together? The virtual episodes.
Yeah, that was Dark Matter fan Francois Brodeur who put together. Originally, I just posted them on my blog as separate scenes and separate acts, and he. Visuals and put it to music and video, and he did an awesome job. I really felt it. Like I said, watching it, especially that second episode, I was like, this would have made an amazing episode.
I read those when I first started this stream and we met, Joe, and then you sent them to me, and I was like, ooh. So I read them immediately, and then it was so good. But at the same time, I was like so mad while I was reading it, like, F you, sci-fi, for canceling this show. It was freaking amazing. I hate all of you.
I do want to, before I forget, guys, I want to show something that Rapunzel did. You guys have seen on Twitter, most of you, and she did this artwork of Joe and Akemi.
I saw that. It was so cute. I was like, this is dope.
That Suji is remarkable. And of course, my evil villain look. I like the fact that I'm matching the tie with the pocket kerchief with the
cufflinks. Yeah, it's so cute.
Akemi loved it because she's like, I've never been so tall. And she's serving me my pistachio latte. So Rebecca Young is the name of the artist. So thank you, Rebecca.
I like the Baron Destructo Corp. That's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you. All right. Well, what did you guys think of Katie? Let's ask Katie. Well, actually, all of us, right? Katie, ladies first. What did you think of these virtual episodes?
I really liked that they kept the suspense and everything, but I knew I was like, okay, Joe's going to wrap it up a little bit more in that neat little bow, but I'm sure there'll be something more at the end. And it was exactly what I hoped for. So it was really nice to get that closure because, I coming off of Star Trek Enterprise and them just being like, all right, we're just going to axe everything and just screw the last episode. It's so nice to see, everything come to a nice end and still be open in the future. So I liked it. Although reading it at 1.5 speed with the music in the background, it's like a sci-fi bop on YouTube. You're just like, if you don't realize that you can speed up the soundtrack, it sounds so cool.
That's funny. I thought it was cool too. Same thing. I thought the same thing as you, Katie. And I thought it would make a good animation, or even like other things, because now you have that framework. So if the TV series doesn't doesn't happen, you have a framework. You can do so much stuff with it.
Well, I mean, we did get together and break, I think it was 6 or 7 episodes. And we actually have a script for one episode written by Carl Binder, who's former Stargate writer-producer. But one of the things I kind of did miss, I was kind of like, they're like little bits of it here and there, but, missing the dialogue. The dialogue is such a huge part of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but, if I had included dialogue, at that point, I'd be writing the entire script. But, it just offers a hint as sort of like what was the kind of like, first of all, there's Rio or 4, and kind of I think is kind of a clever way to get 4 back, and yet, have him kind of weighed down by things he did but doesn't remember, which kind of harkens back to season 1. We bring Wexler on, one of the
Tash
and
yes.
Tash ends up leaving, but Wexler ends up staying. And that was the plan, to kind of have him join the crew, and he kind of opened the door. We introduced Crichton in the episode, and set 2 off on her search for her daughter. So a lot of stuff set up in those first 2 episodes.
Guys, Joe, forgive me. Guys, forgive me 1 sec. Everybody in the chat is just in the celebratory mood, and we have a special guest who is gonna give a 30-second hello to Joe, because he saw a certain post that Joe posted this week. So just welcome Deej Odyssey, who's giving us a surprise performance.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, Deej.
Welcome, Deej.
Oh my God! What are you doing in the bunny suit?
It's a big bunny.
Joe made a posting a couple of days ago about demented bunnies, and well, who best to represent that than me?
Perfectly portrayed.
Yeah, very apropos. I have my pink dinosaur outfit. That Akemi gets mad because she goes out in her white bunny outfit, and then she's like, "Are you gonna wear your pink dinosaur outfit to match?" And I'm like, maybe not today. So I mean, if I was like you, Deej, on doing like a podcast or something like that, of course I would wear it. But if you're not out in the park, I'd probably be arrested.
You're doing a podcast now. Why are you not wearing it?
Huh?
You're doing a podcast now. Why aren't you wearing it?
It's also very hot. I got these great headphones that Akemi ordered, and I was going to wear them for this show, but for some reason they're not working.
Aw. Is it the ones that have a kitty ear on it?
Yeah. Ear headphones.
I know you so well now.
I'm not going to take up your time, folks. You guys got to get back to the subject matter.
The look, though. I love the look.
It's a good look.
It's fantastic.
I am the demented Ralphie from Christmas Story.
Yes.
Deej, we don't have any guests, Deej. So if you want to hang out, you can hang out if you want.
Oh no, I'm going to go back and just watch because it's more comfortable than letting everybody just laugh at me like this.
We're laughing with you.
Thanks, Deej. Thanks, Deej, for dropping in.
He's got some better costumes than that.
Hello, and thank you, Stephen, on Hail Panel and everyone in the chat. I may not be able to stay for the whole show. I just wanted to say hello. # Team Raza forever. Thank you, Stephen.
Aww.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody since last week. Everybody has been like in that celebratory mode and just really reminiscing about everything about dark matter. I have 100 people asking me, Joe, what's next for dark matter?
What's next is, like I said, I spoke to, or actually exchanged emails with Jay Firestone, who's the president of Prodigy Pictures, and I told him, look, I want to go out and pitch a miniseries, and it'll be kind of an uphill climb just because this show is so serialized and we're going to be picking up. I want to sort of try to pick up a couple of years after the finale with the alien invasion in kind of full swing. And I want to sort of kick it off with Six's return. And so Six will be our kind of eyes in character who we're going to find out what's happened to everyone and what's been going on while he was away. So it's kind of an easy way, kind of a shorthand to sort of get everyone up to speed. So that's the door in. So I really have to put together a pitch, and the challenge will be really in pitching something that will be rewarding to the fans, but at the same time not be off-putting to a broadcaster or a streamer who will be like, how is this going to appeal to fans who don't know dark matter? So that's what I'm going to kind of set out to do, and I'm trying to aim for a month or so from now ish.
Nice.
Joe, since we have the show's creator here, we have to ask this question. Do you would you in this scenario, or have you in this scenario had any private conversations with the actors, saying, what if we started up again or stuff like that?
I haven't specifically said, what if we haven't started up, what if we start up again? But in conversations with them in the past, they've been like, let's, if something happens, we'll be there. And I know it's greater for them to say that. It's a little harder for some of them who are on shows. And Anthony's on a show now. Zoe's on a show. Melissa's on a show. So
Roger's on one too.
Yeah. And Alex and Jodelle are busy as well. So all I would say is I'm creatively nimble, and from a production standpoint, I can find a way to ensure their characters are alive and find a way to shoot it in a way that basically ensures that they can all be involved. And one of the ways to do it is really to aim for like a 6-episode miniseries, which is kind of short and sweet. We can block shoot and hopefully get it done in record time, and everyone can go back and do their thing until hopefully the next miniseries, if it does well.
I was like I was sort of hoping that I'd come in here and then you'd be like, oh, I have a special surprise. It's been picked up. But that's okay. I understand. It's going to take time.
Yeah. Joe, if I might ask you a kind of a hard question, and I didn't mean to, ask you hard questions, but I was thinking the other day, because a creator like you or a producer or writer like you has been so heavily involved in one franchise for so many years in Stargate, is somebody in your position, do you think, discriminated against or a little bit prejudiced against you, in the sense that maybe certain people have done like 4 or 5 different franchises and you've done 1 or 2? Does that hurt you at all, or?
I'm not sure about franchises, but the fact that I am a sci-fi guy certainly kind of makes it difficult. I mean, you see it in things like kind of we just kind of laugh about it on Stargate, kind of the award shows. Stargate was never nominated for any of the big awards, like sometimes not even like visual effects, which was kind of crazy. Because we were in Vancouver on the other side of the country, and it's the awards and the TV industry is very centralized in the eastern side of Canada, Toronto. Another reason was because we were sci-fi, and another reason was because we were an MGM production, even though we were all Canadian crew, Canadian creative, Canadian cast pretty much. So yeah, I mean, I did feel that, and I kind of do feel that when I go in and kind of pitch. Everybody kind of knows me as the sci-fi guy. So it's tough because when I look to hire writers or directors, I look at their IMDb credits, and if they have a lot of credits but only like 1, maybe 2 credits within a production, that's usually a red flag for me. Like, why did you not stay more than 1 season? Whereas on the other hand, I did Stargate for like 12 seasons, or it was 12 years on Stargate, and Dark Matter was 3, and I did Falls as well, but and a few other things. But really, it is tough, and I have to say that I did hear rumblings when we were on Stargate that there was a bit of resentment concerning our success. Yes. So yeah,
sure.
It was kind of weird. But,
drama.
Yeah.
Sci-fi drama is always like next level drama.
Right?
Wow. So I guess is it possible then for an executive producer to be typecast? From could you say that?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think they see me as an executive producer so much as they see me as a writer. So yeah, definitely.
So what you're saying is all you have to do is write it like a terrifying horror movie, and all of a sudden you break out.
Well, I have written a terrifying horror movie, and it is out. But script. So, but I mean, again, who knows what the future holds? This is just another one of those projects that you kind of throw into the mix and then potentially never hear, about again. But we'll see.
Wow. Okay. What's the title of that horror script?
Bedlam.
All right.
Wow.
Very cool.
Thanks, John Burns. Even today, I'm seeing messages in Reddit about how sad it is that Dark Matter is done, and I post about the possible miniseries and this rewatch.
Yeah, it is amazing because I also frequent the Dark Matter subreddit as well as the Stargate subreddit, and I try to sort of update them with goodies like behind the scenes stuff. And I'm always surprised by not just Dark Matter, but Stargate as well. People discovering the show for the first time and kind of reaching out, which is pretty amazing.
Wow. Yeah, so many people. There's a lot of people who have just not gotten. They've only seen a few episodes, and they say, "Oh, MacGyver's in it," but they haven't really.
Well, actually, it's funny because when we first started on Stargate, we realized that having Richard Dean Anderson as a lead was what got the show picked up in its first 2-season pickup. And Rick was great, and Stargate SG-1 was Richard Dean Anderson. But we realized that it was kind of like a blessing and a curse because a lot of people were like, "Oh my gosh, MacGyver's in that show. We have to watch it." Whereas you also had people who were like, "MacGyver's in that show? I'm not going to watch it."
What? MacGyver is awesome.
Yeah, he is.
And there was a great line. I think it was Carter at some point says, "We have to MacGyver or something like."
Yeah, in Solitudes. Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff. 3 calls, 5-5er now.
Yeah.
I love that.
He called her Fiverr in one other episode, but I can't remember which episode it was. Yeah.
It's so cute. Like from the beginning of the series to now, the evolution of the characters, I would not have guessed in a million years watching in season 1. Like everyone's like, "Oh, I love 3. 3's so great," and I'm just sitting there like, "This guy." And it's just so nice now to be like, "Oh, he actually cares, and he's a sweet guy."
But he doesn't like to show it.
No.
He should show it more. Girls like sweet guys.
All right. Well, so episode episode 1. We see that Wexler is really kind of filling in as part of the crew, kind of.
Yeah.
The whiskey part got me. I don't see his name on the bottle.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was a great line. And he's like, "Oh shit, it's on the bottle."
It's a typical thing 3 would do.
He said that before, though, right? Like, I think it was when they first came to the ship.
Mm-hmm. Well, he didn't say, "I don't see your name on the bottle," but he was just like, "Hey," he breaks out the whiskey, and it was like, this is a cause for celebration. Just as before he follows two out and gets his arm broken and his left testicle slightly bruised.
No, I remember when one was like, 3 doesn't like to share or something like that, and he was like, I don't see his name on the bottle. And then he looks down and he's like, oh, never mind, it's there or something, because he had marked his thing. Maybe I'm totally forgetting.
I think you might be remembering reading this.
Maybe remembering this.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I know what you're talking about, where he did get into it, but he never mentioned about his name being on it, just that he didn't like to share, and he would be in trouble for that.
Yeah, I probably mixed the two.
You know, one of the things that made this like virtual episode actually feel like an episode was that little bit of dialogue. Like, it wasn't completely scripted, but the little bits of dialogue thrown in, I very much appreciated.
Yeah, that's what I miss about, as I was kind of watching it, I was like, this would be so much better with dialogue.
Aw.
Yeah.
But didn't you? What did you guys?
Oh, sorry, PJ.
Finish, Katie. Finish. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, you can always do what they did with David Tennant and Michael Sheen, and they did Staged, where everyone just has a virtual background. You just read the script of the episode as if you're in different spots.
Yes, all I would have to do is write the script.
That's just an afternoon for you, Joe. Come on, you're a genius.
Right.
Just have a bunch of coffee. You can get that done in an hour.
Mm. One of the things I have to say, I'm amazed by Francois, who put together these videos, how he was able to access so many images from throughout the show's run, and then kind of the little cut and paste on occasion, but really well done.
Yeah,
Francois. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And when he got into Two's dreams, visions, memories, whatever it was, with the accelerated, how he just blur out the face. This is the person, but I thought it was really good as well.
Yeah, it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I felt so bad for her when she was trapped in that cabin thing.
Well,
that's awesome.
Lord Mothman, my girlfriend finally finished watching Dark Matter last week, and I read the virtual scripts out loud to her while we were hanging out, and she really liked them. Well, great to hear.
Aw, cool.
Yeah.
Aw.
That's great, Lauren. Thanks for sharing. Well, Katie's been.
Yes,
I have been a good viewer.
Yes.
I finally binged episodes, guys. I read them all at once.
Katie, since I wasn't here last week, can you just explain to me possibly what you felt at the last episode and what you went through? Did you cry?
It was so close. It was mostly oh, come on.
Yeah.
And I finally understand the pain that the comment section has had this entire time. It makes you want more. And I'm just so grateful that, Joe, you put these out here, because so help me, I would have had to return to fan fiction. And anyone who watches my channel with Order of the Blue Lotus knows I have a terrible time with fan fiction. I end up on the dark side of the internet. So I'm very appreciative that I didn't have to go through that.
Katie and Nina, do you guys want to tell us really quick what's coming up next on your channels? I'm sorry, I didn't ask you at the beginning.
Nina, you want to go first?
Sure. Well, for me, I just dropped the highlights for Infinite Hope from 2 weeks ago because I didn't do it last week because of the whole vacation thing. So that's up on the channel. I just dropped that today. And then this tonight, I'll be on Midnight's Edge for Toxic Femininity at 9 Eastern. So check me out on there. Thank you.
Katie?
Sweet. And for me, we have Order of the Blue Lotus and Avatar: The Last Airbender podcast, and that's every Wednesday at 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. Finally got that timing memorized. We have a bunch of people who have never seen the show before actually joining us and going back and watching the first season of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it is so much fun to see their reactions. Like, how have I not seen this sooner?
I know, it's so good.
Are you into that, Joe? Have you seen that?
I'm into anime, but I haven't checked out Avatar.
It's
You'll
some of the
love
best
it.
writing in children's television history. And it's not even children's television at this point. It's television.
And technically, it's not anime because it's American made.
It's not anime.
Right.
Which is why probably I haven't really watched it.
It's like weed
They're
anime.
right, though, for being a big fan of anime. The Airbender, the first, part of it, not the second one, but the Aang arc.
Yeah, the Airbender arc.
Yep.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah. So we got that, and then I'm working on that old Star Trek video that I said I was going to post, but then I went back and thought, wow, this is garbage. So I'm reworking it, and it should be ready soon. That's
You're
just goes
so
to show.
funny.
Sit on your projects for a little bit. You'll go back and realize I need to change that.
Katie always cracks me up on Twitter because she posts these weird TikTok videos, and then like you always crack me up. And every time I see something like weathery, I'm like, I should tag Katie on this.
Do it. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love it. I've had like 100 new followers in the past week, and I don't know why, but it's mostly because people are just tagging me in random stuff, and I love it so much.
You're so funny.
And I get into fights, but mostly people tagging me.
Fights.
What kind of
Oh,
fight?
it's so much
Yeah.
fun. Yes,
Twitter
when people
fights?
think that it's when there's people who think it's safe to park under an overpass and block the highway.
Oh yeah,
for
I
instance.
saw that. Oh my
You
god, that was
idiots.
so funny. Oh my god.
You can tell who isn't a meteorologist and who has a fancy car that they care more about than their lives.
Yeah, that was quite the post. Yeah, I can't believe people would actually do that.
Yeah,
Deej, Kate triggers
we
me.
have a fun relationship.
Joe triggers me with his weird food posts. Like that weird.
They're not always weird. Today was like apple cider glazed donuts.
Yeah,
Didn't
apple
you like
cider
them?
glazed Oreo cookies.
Oh,
Like
Oreos,
no,
right.
Joe, no.
Really?
Because Oreo cookies
Don't
have
shoot
a
the
special
messenger.
taste.
I'm just basically pointing out, just bringing it to your attention, kind of a yes, no. You don't have to say yes. In fact,
No.
I didn't say yes. No,
Some things in life need to be experienced, especially various bizarre foods.
Uh,
Yeah, I would totally try
That's
that.
You never
Even
know
if you don't
like
like it, it's worth the shot.
you know, I would. You know what? You're right. I would probably try that one just to be like, ew, no. But at least I can say I tried it. I have an open mind.
There you go.
What did you guys think about? I wanted to ask all you guys this question. What did you guys think about Anders, like, kind of just having this, augmented role in season 4?
I
like
love
it.
Anders. So
Yep.
more
I think he's
Anders
a good guy.
is awesome. Yes.
Yeah, one of the things I did talk to Jeff about what we had planned for his character, which is why he was actually especially bummed after we got canceled. But I mean, we end episode 3 with Anders saying the GA wants to make you an offer, and essentially what the offer would have been is, pardon for their past crimes in exchange for them becoming agents of the Galactic Authority. And Anders would have been their point man, sort of their handler, for like ongoing missions against sort of the aliens. So he would have had like obviously a more pronounced roles and occasionally sort of go with them on ops, and that's how we kind of would have kind of brought Solara back in as well. That was the plan.
If you ever wanted to be caught and cut or pulled over by a cop, Anders was the one to do it.
Time Prophet asked, question to Joseph. I've noticed the scale of the shuttle is rather large compared to the windows of the Raza. I think the shuttle. Oh, so shuttle would be smaller as a 2-seater shuttle.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of an issue I've always had with not just Dark Matter, but Stargate as well, which is why sort of the fans always ask for the dimensions. And, it's like the interior of the ship, we keep it kind of nebulous. So in terms of like, we never really had the scales, but the visual effects department did have kind of scales of, how they thought the ship would, measure up against, measuring up like the Marauder against the Raza. So that's a question or a note for visual effects supervisor Lauren Bancroft Wilson.
And I just want to remind Joe and everybody that Time Prophet is working on like 3D and some types of 3D renderings of Raza as well.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And that being said, we have another person. You guys remember we said at one point that we might have a Raza to raffle off. It looks like at some point we will. Somebody is doing a 3D print of a Raza, and we will figure out how to do that once he finishes.
Oh, that's so cool. I want one.
Awesome.
And the first, it looks like it's going to look cool. It's such a. By the way, Joe, it's one of my favorite ships in sci-fi now.
Is it really?
Yeah,
That's great.
Wow.
it's different.
Yeah.
It is very different.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember getting the artist or designer Bartol Rendelik, he sent me I think like a half dozen ships to kind of sort of take a look at, and I just wanted the Raza to. I described it sort of like a little bulldog of a ship, and then he kind of revised it, and then some of the other ships that he designed that we passed on ended up sort of making their way into the show in one aspect or another. Like I think one of them was a smuggler ship that attacks them in season 2, with the episode with that what was that drug. Anyways, yeah. Oh, somebody's dark matter socks arrived today. How exciting!
Ooh, yeah. Because it's
Wow.
it just seems like such a massive ship, like for what it is, like and the crew, the amount of crew that it has.
Yeah.
Because usually, it would be a kind of a lot smaller, kind of like the Rosinante in the Expanse, because it's like a much smaller crew ship. But I guess it also shows that because you have the android and the android kind of runs the ship, that's why you don't really need a crew, like a giant crew.
The assumption is that Tu or Portia stole the ship from the previous owners, who presumably stole it from a previous owner.
Right.
So, the ship could have been designed obviously for a bigger crew, but the people who ended up with it just made effective use of this.
But I mean, like usually a ship of that size, of that caliber, wouldn't be able to be ran like correctly.
Yes, yeah.
Like you would need more crew. You would have to like recruit
Yeah.
in order to be able to run the ship. But because you have the android and the android kind of runs the ship, then you don't really need to expand your crew, which is kind of really cool in that sense. I like that, because it's like a giant ship for like 4 people, like 5 people.
Imagine playing hide and
7
seek
people.
there.
Or 7
That'd be
people.
an
7
epic
people.
game.
Was this originally a corp ship or a GA?
Neither.
Oh, okay.
It was actually a private ship.
Just some poor
Ooh.
soul.
If the show had gone on, would we have like found out the origins of the ship, like how it was made or who it was made by?
I wasn't planning on exploring that.
Okay.
Get an origin story for the Raza.
Spin-off. I don't know.
I tell you what,
spin-off.
though, my favorite ship in the whole series was the one that the not augmented Nyx, her group.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
the
I
Sears,
love that ship.
The Sears ship. Yeah.
it was a cool ship. I like Raza better because it's just such a
It's very unique.
it's a very fat
Well
ship.
designed.
It's very fat.
It's like a bulldog.
It's cute.
Yeah.
It's very cute
is
and
like a
fat
bulldog.
and chubby, and I like
And
it.
that is the thing about a lot of sci-fi. They make these ships to look streamlined and like something you would put on the ocean where it doesn't matter in space.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Well, unless you're like trying to make a ship that goes underwater, like on a planet,
That'd be interesting.
because some spaceships do that.
I just want to say, guys, this is big news that the dark matter sucks already. I had no idea. So Nikki,
Ooh.
That was quick.
that was quick. Yeah. Guys, hit up Nikki for that. Nikki, if you want to use your wrench and put in the to your website the link. Go
Might
ahead,
have to
please.
get some for Christmas because we don't wear socks in Cancun unless
You don't need those.
it's cold.
Yeah. And Joe, Nate asks, how old is the Raza?
That's a good question. I want to
See, origin story.
It's probably maybe several decades old.
I had
It's
a
a
question.
season ship.
I had a
Go ahead.
question for you. It's unrelated to the ships, but definitely space. When 6 went into the alternate universe, what was in your mind that universe was like? Because dealing with another universe, I would think it would be a whole new set of rules.
Yeah, I mean that would have been a question I would have, yeah, or discussion with my visual effects supervisor, because I would imagine something like obviously very different from uh, what the reality we're presented with. Obviously, you know, starless for one, and then just in terms of sort of the atmosphere. I mean, obviously something surreal and alien. Again, I mean, it would have been a conversation with Lauren.
Because that was one of the things I really appreciated was their sensors on the Marauder didn't work in that new space. They're based on different principles, different environment. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because physics would be completely different there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
In answer to Philip's question, dark matter and killjoys were not in the same universe. However, Michelle, what is Michelle's last name? Michelle is the showrunner of Killjoys, and I sort of followed each other on Twitter, and we kind of, went back and forth, talked about a possibility of a crossover. And at the time, Sci-Fi had asked us to do it. I would have been happy to do a Killjoys crossover.
Oh, that would have been so cool. I love Killjoys.
Lovretta, right? Michelle
Yeah,
Lovretta?
yeah, sorry, Michelle Lovretta. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow. Okay, that's cool.
PJ, have you seen Killjoys?
I have seen bits and pieces, but it's on my list. It's one of the things on my list to watch.
Yeah,
Did
it's
you
very
enjoy
good.
it?
Oh yeah, I love Killjoys. Actually, I have a review of it. I did with Jane Theory. It was like one of my first videos I ever did. So it was like my third or fourth video. So that's on my channel if you guys want to check that out.
Oh wow, yeah.
I will, because I've never seen Killjoys.
Oh, it's really good, Adega. I highly recommend it.
Go ahead and put a link in the chat if you want.
I will. Also, PJ, I know it's a little off topic, but I did start watching Mythic Quest, and that show's freaking amazing.
Yeah,
I'm already on season 2.
Yeah, I'm glad. Wow. And it's funny because that whole thing about the AI. I don't know if you got to the AI writing the sci-fi yet, but
yes. Oh my God, I laughed
in there
so hard. It was so good. The whole thing is like really, really good. It's very surprising because they make fun of today's, like the woke culture and like just everything, and it's very surprising that they can pull it off the way that they do, because you would think that they'd be canceled like immediately, but they haven't gotten canceled yet.
Yeah, they did a good job. What did you guys think about? What did you think about the version, the mom version of 2? We don't see much, but
I feel like she'd be more relaxed. Like most new parents, they'd be high strung. She would be like, "Oh, this is so much better than almost dying every day."
I felt so bad for her. It's just I just felt bad for her. I was like, "Oh," because you can tell like that's the life she really wanted. She just wants like a normal life, and poor girl can't have that.
Joe, on the space station, on the Ferris core space station that's stuck on the other side of the rift, there's probably a lot more people we haven't seen that are still on there, right? Alive on there, right?
Yes, although it's been greatly damaged. So, presumably there are many people killed. So when, Six ends up on the station, in any cases, the portion that he ends up on is relatively unmanned. And then he runs it into Tash, and then they run into other guards. So, the damage that it took, has kind of cleared out some space, if you will.
Now, Joe, did you have long-term plans for Tosh?
No, I mean, it would be nice to kind of revisit with her character. I mean, I always kind of liked that kind of alt crew. So, I love Jessica Sebos, and I really love the character. So, I mean, she would have probably figured into things at some point in season 4.
And can we ask you? We see here that he's this like the cybernetic components of Crichton. Can you say anything about that?
I mean, not really, except for the fact that he was part of a group called the Accelerated. That were essentially, they were augmented human beings, part of an experiment that were sort of created along the same lines as 2 was, and like 2, Crichton gained his freedom, and she ends up, because they had kind of a similar history, she ends up entrusting Crichton with her child, while she goes off to sort of make some cash to kind of support them, and with the understanding that when she comes back, she's going to give them a password, in the event someone in the event that someone tries to, kind of pull a fast one and it's not her. And what the plan was for episode, I think, 4 or 5, when she goes to visit the planet, probably episode 5, it's going to be, she won't have memory of that conversation, so she won't know the password, and so Crichton will not trust her and will see her as an enemy. So we would have gotten a great throwdown scene between 2 and someone, worthy of a matchup.
Joe, Nate asks, are there? We've asked this question before. Are there any plans for Dark Matter spinoff? And let me just add something to that question. Would you consider pitching a spinoff, or simultaneously or before even?
No, I wouldn't. In fact, actually, I did discuss a possibility of a spinoff in season 3, late in season 3. I put together a pitch that I think maybe I'll find it on my laptop, but it wouldn't involve the alt crew and maybe some of our other characters. I think I would have done kind of like the classic comic book thing where you got so many heroes. You got Avengers East Coast, Avengers West Coast. That was what the plan was.
I like that.
I have to find it.
And Nikki, I think, I'm not sure if you're just getting in here, but if you want to give us information and put your put a link in the chat for the socks, I think a lot of people would be interested.
People are hyped, man. People are hyped.
We want socks.
Even Nina will wear them in Cancun in the summer if you put it up.
Oh my God, I don't know about that, PJ, but it will happen in Christmas, and I'll take pictures of it and I'll send it in. Because I
imagine all of us meeting up at a convention and just all of a sudden meeting in a back room and sharing our socks and taking a picture.
Like socks 5s, like with our feet.
Yeah.
Yay.
So Joe, when Katie was telling Melissa and Zoe to drag you to a convention, are you feeling the pressure from the fans to show up at a convention?
Not really.
I'm not applying enough pressure then.
No, I don't really feel the pressure. I mean, basically, it's nice for the fans to kind of want the writers or creators at the conventions, but the convention organizers never really invite creatives, or rarely do. It's always really more the actors.
So what you're saying is, if I host a creators con and we get all the creators of the show, no actors, just creators, you'd be interested.
That's
where are you holding it?
In Cancun.
Well, maybe.
Maybe. City, Iowa.
Yeah.
Interesting idea.
Yeah.
This might be a difficult.
No one
Go ahead.
steal it. No one steal that.
Off topic, and it might be a difficult question, but I've wondered, and if you can't answer, that's fine. Mm-hmm. Say you got your mini series or 2-movie project or what have you. Who would be, other than cast, who would be the first person you would call to help?
Well, I wouldn't call Ivan because basically we text almost every day, so he would be well aware of my efforts to get
Right.
the show up and running. I would probably say John Stead, director, stunt coordinator extraordinaire. He kind of wears many hats, and so yeah, he's a guy I would kind of dial in
On. He loves the show
yeah.
too.
And actually Ian Brock, of course, because our production designer, because he would need to get thinking. So those two, I think first and foremost.
That says a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good
The
question.
fact that they would be like, oh yes, heck yes, let's do this.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean they would. I know they would.
John Burns.
Sorry.
Sorry. I'm just going to read this real quick.
Yeah.
Thanks. A friend of mine who has been hassled for pineapple on pizza and green grapes on pizza. She stepped up to a peach prosciutto ham pizza. Wow.
Grapes?
That is worthy of a Joseph Malazzi post.
Yes.
Yeah. Or just because I post them doesn't mean I would actually eat them.
Well, Joe, you're Italian. I mean, what do you think about pineapple on pizza?
I am not for pineapple on pizza.
Oh,
yeah.
thank goodness we can still be friends.
Mm.
You know what's so weird though is that I didn't like pineapples on like cooked food like pizza at all.
Mhm.
And then when I moved to Mexico, they put pineapples on tacos. Like it's like a northern like it's one of the very famous dishes here is that they do that. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be so gross. Like I don't want to eat this. And it's so good because like the mixture of the spice and the sweet and like it's just like a fusion. And it's amazing. So I'm actually like used to like the pineapple meat concoction now, but I still can't eat it on pizza because it gets all soggy and weird on pizza and it's gross.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do like their idea of hot and sweet because I used to order the mango lollipops. They were just filled with chili and covered in it. I love those.
Ooh.
I will say I do like that. There's a pizza place near here that does something called the Hornet Pizza. That's it's sausage, chili, honey, and black olives.
Oh,
I'm in.
You get your spicy, you get your salty, you get your sweet, and you get a little bit of bitterness. Delicious.
I definitely would have to try that out.
Mm.
My typical order is cheese with extra cheese. And it got to the point where in college, everyone knew who I was based on my order because I'm basic.
Cheese with cheese.
Nikki, please keep posting your website during our chat because I think the more paraphernalia we have out there, the more support we're giving Joe. Joe, I will do my best to get you to add Astra into. All right, Jeff.
I don't understand that one.
Oh, that's a convention in Toronto.
Oh,
I think
is it?
I think that's what he means.
Huh.
Joe, if you go to a convention in Toronto, I will fly from Sioux City just to go to that convention.
Really?
Yes. And I will try sushi there too.
what's
So you get a double
weird-
whammy.
We have two big conventions in Toronto. There was the Comic-Con and Fan Expo, but they weren't really interested in having like a local show on I was like, the cast is here. Why not, invite the cast and do like a Dark Matter thing? But weren't interested. I filed these ones away in the back of my head so that basically I will remember. I have a long memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ad Astra is in Toronto, so like all Joe has to do is just like fall out of bed to go.
Right. Just keep rolling.
What did you get? All right, so was anybody worried that we were never going to see Six again at the end of season 3?
I was.
Kind
So
of.
negative.
Well, this is a learned response. I was like half. I was like, okay, okay, so there is a season 4, so there would be plans to move forward. And I have a feeling like you wouldn't just replace Six with Wexler. Like, that's a different dynamic. So probably be okay, but also I've been very wrong before, so I just accept that I don't know.
And one big story we're not talking. I mean, one big topic we're not talking about is 4's reinsertion to. What did you guys? What is all of a sudden? That's like nothing happened in 4. I mean, Rio is back, kind of. What do you guys think about?
Well, I mean, there's like, it's just there's so much more going on, and it's like, who cares that Rio tried to kill everyone?
Who cares?
Like, meaning, like, it's who cares that he
back.
tried to kill everyone? Like, you know, we're fighting aliens now. Like,
well,
that's
and
more important.
with Rio being on the ship and everything, they've effectively taken the fight out of him. And as soon as you take the fight out of someone, they're benign, pretty much. Like, he's not gonna try and go back because there's nothing for him to go back to. And so that's when you have that opening to be like, hey, we're gonna steal you. Come back. And I think it worked well.
I do, out of these 2 episodes that he put together that you wrote, like the autonomy of Android, how much she stepped up. You know, here, 5 is boss, deal with it or you deal with me. She kept Wexler in line. It's just, I really like that she's more in charge than what she was. She was less subservient. That was the direction you were going, though, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
absolutely, yes.
All right, do you guys like the fact that Wexler's still around?
I
Or
love
does-
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
'Cause he's so, like, he was a good character. Like, you want to see more of him.
I still want to just shove that toothpick down his throat. That's gonna bug me for the rest of my life.
I mean, I was like, I would have liked to see, one more than Wexler, because I liked him a lot. But I mean, I understand that certain things just can't be.
Look at Joe's face. He's like, I was gonna bring him back
I had
somehow.
plans.
I had plans.
Well,
That was such
I
a
think-
corporate dude like face. Like,
I think we did talk to Mark about the fact that when he was on, that I did have a story planned for him. That alternate Jay's Corso made the ride back, and I wanted him to figure into an episode what was going to be episode 9 of actually this season, and then he wasn't able to make it. And so I had to come up with like a fill-in episode, and that was episode 9, where they go back to suburbia, which is not bad as fill-in episodes go.
Right.
So, the plan was to kind of open the door for a potential return, but alas, we never got to explore that.
And let me just say hello to Maria of Telly. Please, everybody, sub. But Maria, go ahead and put in your channel. Maria and I are going to be doing some streams in Spanish, in Espanol.
Nice.
So Orville Nation in Espanol. So please sub to Maria. Maria, put in your channel, please. Thanks. And I really wanted Mark back, says Sarah. Hey, Joe, is there? Could we get? What I forget the name of the character of one's real name, but could we get
Jake
an alternative?
Corso?
No, not Jake. His real name.
Oh,
But could we get an alternative universe of him? Was that a possibility?
One of the things that we were talking about was, or one of the things that I had envisioned was actually bringing one back, where basically.
What?
The episode where we were going to have Mark back as Jay's Corso would have ended, and we would have cut to this woman on the phone, and she's or our version of the phone, and she's communication. We recognized this woman as the lawyer, his lawyer from episode 201, and she's like, well, we've kind of whatever, we've got him on ice, and it's like, okay, fine. Let me know when we want me to ship him. And she's overlooking this stasis pod. And in the stasis pod you would see one, essentially. And
Aw.
one of the sort of kind of notions I was kind of playing it with was this idea of kind of I forget what I call it, something like gene locking, and the fact that clones are created to essentially set with an expiration date and would dissolve or away at a certain point. But someone would find a way to essentially gene lock them so that they would last longer.
Mm-hmm.
And so ultimately, what you find out was that the individual killed at the end of episode 201 was the gene locked clone, because when he basically, there's a knock on the door and he goes, "Let's do this," as if he's preparing himself for something, and then opens the door and is killed. So there's the suggestion that he may have been in on faking his own death.
Oh, Joe.
Secrets of
that
Dark
could
Matter,
work.
yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yay, he would be back. That's awesome.
Wow.
It's kind of weird pitching all these ideas out, because they lack the finesse of a script treatment.
Mhm.
So they're just kind of like ideas that are kind of floating forlornly.
Does Mark ask you bring me back every once in a while, or?
He didn't. I think obviously he was disappointed that he didn't come back for season 2. As was I. As I said, it's always everybody has this great idea, and then they're like, okay, you deal with the fallout. So I was the one who, obviously, as a showrunner, had to make the call, and I do not enjoy those calls.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sucks.
can imagine.
I love the little add-ins that were done for these videos, like the little GA badges. It's adorable.
Yeah, he really did a good job.
Yeah, he did.
Is he in the industry?
No, I think he's actually a musician. I mean, you can check him out. You can
Oh, dang.
do a search for Francois Brodeur on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about this great idea of the neural imprint when you transfer transit, and this idea of making Rio back into 4? What do you guys think about that?
It's a really clever way to get our dude back.
I don't like it. I'll be perfectly honest. I don't like that idea, because I think that the character development that he's done now of basically being Rio, making those choices, and then having those not be what defines him as a man and how he moves forward and the decisions he makes moving forward. I think that really, that's what would be interesting to me, not that he would revert back and like forget all the things he's done, because I think that those are really character defining things, like Nyx's loss and all the different things that he's felt. So.
However, those things did happen, and like one of the scenes I imagined in my head was, the first thing he does when he comes out of the stasis pod or the transfer transit pod is ask for Nyx, and then the realization that because of his actions, she ended up dead. So I mean, even though he doesn't remember doing some of these things, the fact that he did do them kind of would inform him moving forward. In fact, in some ways, it's actually kind of even worse, because he has no anchoring or sort of like, to kind of excuse his behavior.
Right.
Another advantage to that would be he didn't have those secrets of the crew anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
But those secrets are already kind of out, though. He already told them all the secrets.
Except for 3.
But he wouldn't know it.
Good.
No,
I'm
he
three
glad
told
wouldn't
three
know
his
it.
safe
secret.
now.
Yeah.
He told 3 his secret too, didn't he? Was that
He did.
that he
And-
killed,
He told it to a clone.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
and then
3 died.
but 3
chose to
forgot. Yeah,
forget. Yes.
you're right. Yeah.
I gotta say, that's probably one of the happiest moments that I've had of a character dying. Well, character. So yeah, no, kill him right now. Do it.
I just want to say, Joe pitched a spin-off series of the Adventures of a Dark Matter Billionaire starring Mark Ben David as Joe Pillar.
Possible.
Could work.
There you go.
Maybe a Branson Elon Musk type of the future.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I guess. Which one would be Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Elon Musk seems more like Wexler, or I don't know.
When I tell you guys that I'm trying to get my company to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a meteorologist in space, like me. The idea has been pitched. The ball is in Sinclair's court.
That's hilarious.
Love that. Joe, I just realized how you can get you can get dark matter back on the get the money for dark matter by just creating a character, one of the descendants of Bezos or
Right.
Branson or something.
Right.
Yeah. I think they had something similar to that, but like not that exactly. But I remember an Alien, like one of the Alien movies. I think it was like I was gonna say BLM, but it's obviously not. The computer company. What is that called?
Intel?
Was it Intel? It starts with a
Dell?
B.
Oh,
I don't know.
a computer company called IBM?
IBM. That's right. It was IBM, and it was like one of their main starships was like from IBM, like in Alien 4 or whatever, because it was like the company had gone on for so long, and I think the other company they talked about was Walmart, and I was like, oh my god, that's funny.
Didn't FedEx appear in the Expanse?
Did it? I
Really?
don't remember.
I don't know.
Maybe.
How about Amazon Core, Joe?
Yeah, they're probably the scariest core of all.
Google.
Mm-hmm.
Google's gonna be like Skynet soon, so it's okay.
What about okay, so I was saving the very last episode to watch like before we started, and I had a blackout for 2 hours, so I haven't watched 403.
403 was not put to video, so it's just more of a read.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you any comments on 403, guys?
I was surprised, but also not surprised because I knew something was going to happen.
You knew something was going to happen.
The show is predictably unpredictable.
Right.
And it's just
I bet you knew or you suspected that her sister would turn, but you did not expect her to kill her mother.
Yes, exactly. There's always something special about it. It's just Yes, I'm starting. This show has made me grow as a human in that I now accept not knowing. Not necessarily by choice, more by like exposure therapy.
You have
But
to.
yes.
Yeah. That's how I felt about the whole thing. Acceptance. It's like a part of growing up.
Mm-hmm.
See, I missed episode 3. I don't know how I missed it.
What?
It wasn't.
Yeah, I'm sure it was around somewhere, and I was just flicking through and didn't see it. So I'm gonna have to go back and read it. So you guys are up on me now. Finally.
It's been a while for me too, so I'm kind of like just skimming it right now, trying to remember what it was.
I know. For the first time, I know.
You do.
Yes, actually, Alun mentions I made a mistake, and basically I realized after I had published it, it was a small thing. Basically, we opened up with a press conference of involving Five sister Karina, and suddenly, flash grenades go off. She's kind of shuddered into the back, and then the guards are jumped, and Five gives her a message, and then she goes to run away and she's shot and she's killed. It turns out she's a clone, and she wakes up and they're like, did you get her the message? And she's like, yeah, now we just have to, wait. And, I realized afterwards, like, well, actually, no, sure. Her clone didn't make it back, so she wouldn't know if she delivered the message. So it really would have been, did you deliver the message? It would have been more like, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. So it's more a small thing, but good catch. A lot of the fans were quick to note.
I mean, it could work. Like, your clone was killed because it was successful.
Well, you don't know if you were successful though. Your clone was killed. It's only afterward when she actually contacts her that the success of her mission is confirmed.
I remember why I stopped reading this. It was because I told myself, like, I'm not going to read this anymore because these are spoilers, and he's actually going to get the series picked up, and I don't want to know. That's why I stopped reading it.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
You made me feel better.
I was like, I made a conscious decision because I read the first two and I was like, okay, so they're all alive, they're fine. And then I was like, I don't need to know anymore because he's gonna make the rest of the series, and I want to be like Katie, going in like a virgin there.
Yeah.
Joe, Joe, do you have any, like, I know sometimes sci-fi writers may have like friends who are scientists who they may like discuss things with, or like, do you ever consult with a friend or somebody who is heavily into one area of science?
It really depends. Like, I mentioned Carl Binder, who's a writer on Stargate, and he wrote a script for Dark Matter season 4 that sadly never got produced. But his daughter is an astrophysicist, so sometimes I will run ideas by him or to her via him. When we were on Stargate, author John Scalzi was our science consultant, so I used to run ideas by him. I'm sure I could do the same now. Mika McKinnon, who was our science consultant on Stargate, is also someone, and we follow each other on Twitter, and I could always reach out and run some ideas by her. So yeah, I do know a few people.
Okay, interesting. And Joe, did you have any? Oh, can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Did you have any? We've always seen, and I'm going to put up Matt Ryan's channel sec so we can just take a peek in case anybody hasn't seen it. But did you have any cool new weapon ideas that might have come up in season 4? A new pet, weapon named after a pet, perhaps?
No, there were no plans for specific types of weapons. I mean, aside from the accelerated, who were kind of sort of living weapons.
Okay. Now, guys, they have 2 Marauders FTL capable. Progress, huh?
Yeah. It's always fun to have FDL. Although it does present challenges as well, like when one doesn't have one and like, we need to get off this planet and go to FDL. Oh shit, we can't because we don't have it. Darn.
It's always interesting to add more gears to the system, because then it just enhances your storytelling availability, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough though. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword, and something I was talking about this weekend on like a Stargate podcast. The fact that after 10 years of exploration, you pick up technology, and sooner or later you're going to have to use it or integrate it into the show. And some of the weaponry is fun. Other stuff, like we had beaming technology on Stargate. Remember, Ben Browder used to come by my office all the time. He was like, you have to do something. We got to get rid of that beaming technology because it just made things too easy. And so we would always have to come up with these in-story reasons for why we couldn't beam people out. Like, the ionic disturbance was keeping us from, establishing a lock or what have you. So, it's like I said, it's a double-edged sword. It certainly opens up story possibilities, but at the other, and it kind of makes things too easy. And you want to always avoid making things too easy for our heroes.
I think I asked you this before, but I forgot what your answer was. Who would you have cast as Karina? Do you have like someone like in mind that you're like, yes?
I did have someone in mind, although she played Five's friend on the space station. What was her name? I forgot her name again. I think Karina Madeira. Let me look it up. No, obviously not Karina Madeira. Damn, I do not.
Let me just read this while Joe looks that up. John Burns. Oh, John, I meant to read it out loud. I put it up before. Rio is a warrior of a certain type. The fact that he wasn't shot was a way of saying it's better, as he could still die on his feet and not on his knees.
Yeah. At least he can have a useful death.
He's like a Klingon, kind of. Just
Exactly.
an honorable death.
Exactly. You have to have an honorable death.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. And real quick, Joe, I am moving next month, but I'm still interested in my I Was Whacked by Joe Malazzi, and I loved it t-shirt. I'll be moving forward on this in the fall.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, Joe. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
No, her name is Kiana Madeira.
Okay.
And I don't know where she died. She's done a bunch. She's been on Hope Corner. Sacred Land. Yeah, she was a terrific actress. I really loved her on Dark Matter, and in my mind, I was like, wow, she would have made a great Karina. It's one of those, instances where you cast someone for something, and then another role comes up, and you're like, she would have been so much better at this.
Yeah.
I mean, she was great, which is why, obviously, I thought, she would have been great for like a meteor.
Yeah, but that's happened a lot in like even Star Trek or other shows where somebody plays a role and then they're really good at it, but then like they always come back and they do other roles and then they're just there as other characters.
Star Trek also has the benefit of putting their actors under makeup.
That's true.
I mean, weird makeup. I mean, that's what we did with
Aliens
Jewel.
and stuff.
Yeah. Jewel, her first appearance was under like heavy makeup and prosthetics as a wraith child or girl in an episode of an Atlantis, and then we ended up bringing her back, and it was perfect because you didn't really see her face.
She's a human. Yeah. That makes sense.
It's interesting, Joe, that you decided not to have any kind of humanoid aliens in our galaxy, right? So far.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to work towards aliens, and I just kind of didn't want to go down the humanoid route just because it kind of had been done, and kind of realistically, I think they probably wouldn't be humanoid. So really, I just wanted to do something different. In Stargate, we did a lot of like rubber-faced aliens, and they were kind of fun and campy, but it's just something I wanted to avoid for Dark Matter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I appreciate with a lot of these sci-fi shows too, is because it didn't. And I don't get me wrong, I like Stargate, but there is an awful lot of time where they come out of the gate, find a civilization, and they instantly communicate. I mean, English has evolved over time. The show's done in English. How many civilizations that are based off of Nordic or Egyptian or what have you are going to be speaking English? It was one of those. Well, just kind of close your mind and enjoy.
In my mind, it was a translator nanites that they acquired on their way through the wormhole.
I like that.
Yes. Well, there you go.
Because
you can sci-fi your way out of it.
It doesn't make sense that everyone would speak.
I like that, Joe.
Yeah. But I like that. That like gives me like, oh, okay. Translation nanites. Done. I can think that.
I could use those.
Do you think you would? Do you think, Joe, you guys would ever go ahead and explain it that way?
I don't know that. I remember answering this question when fans brought it up, but I don't think it ever made its way into a script.
And Jeff Beeler, thank you, John and Jeff and everybody else who's been with the super chats. Jeff Beeler asked, Joe, would you have liked to? Who would you have liked to cast for Kryden?
There's an actor who auditioned for Dark Matter who I loved, but I could never find the right part for him. And then we cast him in Utopia Falls, an actor by the name of Dwayne Murphy. and he would be perfect. He is like built, but he's like you're not only sort of like a fine physical specimen, but just a supremely talented actor as well.
Wow.
Yeah, that's who I thought would have made the perfect Crichton.
Cool.
And let me just put up Matt's page in case you guys haven't seen it. And Matt Ryan, if you can put in your page again, I want to show a little bit. And I'm sorry for all you guys. I'm sorry for Matt and everybody else that England lost in the final of the European Cup.
Oh yeah, that was sad for you guys.
But congratulations to the Italians.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you into soccer, Joe?
I'm absolutely not. Kind of sad how you kind of lose, get all the way to the end and lose in penalty kicks. It's just so, it's too easy to blame a single person. It's not right, but invariably that's always what happens. When you go down to penalty kicks, it's always the person who misses who bears the weight of the loss, which is actually wholly unfair.
Absolutely.
I loved it. That was a great soccer match.
It was just a bunch of men with horrible haircuts flailing on the ground like, oh, my leg.
That's just
Like,
soccer in general.
Awful.
But they're all very good looking. Most of them are.
If anybody's out there from ESPN, I think you should rip up this young lady on your next podcast. That'll have your TikTok going sky high, Katie.
There we go.
Look at that. Talking about how Matt's talking about how he put together the weapons.
That is
Joe,
an awesome workshop.
To be honest, it seems like you've inspired an alternate career in this young man.
That is fantastic.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that is. But his stuff is really good looking. I mean, it's just, really solid work.
I know we have a lot of creators in the watching and maybe more even on the replay. If anybody is doing any kind of sci-fi fan film, whatever, hit up Matt. Mm-hmm. He's really good.
I mean, look at that. That's insane.
Yeah.
This guy's really good.
Yeah.
Like the amount of detail and like love and care that's gone into this.
It's a great shot.
That's his daughter.
Yeah.
The daughter is amazing.
Wow. Lots of talent. I also want to thank, we've come to the end of Dark Matter Monday. I want to thank also Gap, Stargate, and Tom Gardner. You guys have been fantastic. And Joe, did you like the Twilight Zone one?
Which?
Did you see that one? Oh, maybe I'll show it. The Twilight Zone that Tom did.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I really love. I mean, both Gap and Tom have done just an amazing job of, publishing or marketing this show. And I especially love Tom's. What did he call them? The bad lip.
Yeah.
Lip reading videos. Always great.
Now, Diana has a question that we can get to after John Burns thing, but we got to answer it.
Hold on, let me. All right, let's say. But Canada beat Martinique for. Oh, okay, that's right.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you, John. Yeah, the America's Cup is going on too. If I'm not mistaken.
I know the Stanley Cup just happened apparently.
All I know is the Super Bowl isn't for a few more months.
Tampa Bay won.
Yeah.
This one, Katie?
Yes.
Joe, are you decided what's name of Two's daughter?
Yeah, Katie.
Really?
Little Katie.
Really?
Yes.
That's so cute.
Oh, wow.
I'm also very jealous.
Yeah. We have a ship named after you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, and Katie,
God,
and
that's so cute.
and she's a baby, and there's a big storm outside.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that perfect? Your first taste of storms.
Her
Aw.
innocence. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, true. The pure innocence in a very dark world. Yes, it works perfectly.
Oh yeah, today is Melissa O'Neill's birthday.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
happy
yay,
birthday to
happy
Melissa.
birthday,
Aw,
Melissa.
Happy birthday.
And I did want to mention that to everybody. Melissa actually, thanks Joe for connecting. It was just, it was amazing. She reached out. She's gonna go ahead with giving us the
coat.
jacket
Yes.
Nice.
for what we're gonna do is some kind of auction and for Rambling, and
And then
as
give it to
soon-
me.
and then give it to Dega.
I will fight you with scissors.
Yeah.
It's all I have right now, but I will fight you.
There's a spot right there where I'll put a mannequin top and it'll just sit nice and clean and perfect.
I was gonna say it won't even fit you, Adego. You might as well just give
Want
it
bet?
to me.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to. We're actually gonna weigh. Maybe it's a raffle. Maybe it's an auction. We'll see.
An auction raffle. Mm.
Oh,
Auction raffle.
combine the two.
Katie, what was your? So I want to ask each of you. What was your favorite part of the virtual episodes?
Oh, well, it's going to sound cheesy, but the closure for, like, the story could have been anything. I wouldn't have cared as long as, you get some of the closure. Like, knowing for sure that Six is dead or alive. Or, just being able to go to bed happy is something you can't usually say when a series comes to an end. Or an indefinite pause. We'll go with that. But that truly, it could have been any story. And thankfully, it was an amazing one. So there's that on top of the amazingness of just being able to know what happened to them. That was my favorite part of all of it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Just knowing something, because I was like so upset when it ended the way it did on that cliffhanger. So I needed something to know. That's why I said like the first two was good enough for me. As long as I know that they're all like fine and whatever, I wanted the rest to be. I'm gonna visualize myself watching this instead of reading it, so that it can actually happen. And one day I'll hear Joe, tweet out, or one day I'll see him tweet out, guess what?
Oh,
Dark Matter's been.
You'll hear it. You will hear a collective scream of thousands of people just rejoicing at once.
Yes, definitely. So that was my favorite part too.
What about you, Dega?
Watching programs as long as I have, for everything from Space 1999 to Star Blazers, different things where they cut off way too soon. Firefly, almost got used to it. You get used to disappointment. Mm-hmm. So I would have to say, I wish it would continue. Don't get me wrong, but Anders and the infiltration of the GA to get the bomb, loved that part of the story.
I have a question. Now that Katie, you've watched the entire series now. For each of you guys, which was your favorite episode?
Oh,
That's a
one.
question for you too, PJ.
Oh gosh, the one with 3 and 5, where 3 is like yelling at her like, just go, and he's hurt and like in the cabin thing. I don't know the name of the episode, but I loved it because that's the episode that solidified for me. Like I love 3.
Was it 311?
That was the episode.
211. Yeah. Huh.
It only took me 1.5 seasons. Well, 2 seasons pretty much, but still.
Yeah.
I was thinking the exact same thing, Katie. It's the exact same one. Yep.
Wow.
It was either that or the time loop one. Because I really like 3. I really like 3, and so his episodes were my favorites.
Can I play a little clip from about 6 months ago?
Oh,
I really hate 3. I really hate.
Oh my god! Yes, do it, PJ. That's hilarious.
It really, truly is. I went back and watched our first stream. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at me back then. But then it was kind of like, wow, yeah, that is character development in its prime. Like, perfection.
I think my favorite episode is probably not the well, there's two. Like I really like the time travel one, but I
Which one, the time
also
loop or the
not the time loop, the other one when they're
Oh,
when they go back in time.
yeah, isn't that a paradox? Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And I also really, really like the showdown in the palace, like with Rio and
yeah.
like
312. Yeah.
the prodigal son returns. Like
Mhm.
I love that episode a lot. So.
I don't know. There's something about a spoon in the ear that just kind of like, yeah, I like that.
That episode had everything you could possibly want.
Yeah, I mean that episode was one of my favorites too. But like it's just I can't pick like 10. So
right.
Definitely. But I just love Rio so much. So like that's why and the fact that he came back into the fold kind of at the end and how it worked out with 2 and the way that 2 realized that he didn't kill Nix and everything the way it played out. I thought was just masterful and I really loved that. And I like now I was basically you left me thinking now we want that redemption arc. Like now we want that. Like what is he gonna do to get the crew's trust back and to get everyone to understand, or like basically for him to be able to move on. Like what is he gonna have to do? So.
Now, since Katie had said one, and I don't want to sound so much like a copycat because that really would be my first pick. It would have to be, and I don't remember the episode name, but it was Android. And when she's discovering what the chip does, she meets up with the other Android. And you found that weird house that they had to get real tight shots inside the glass bedroom. It was one of the ones where it starts with a bedroom scene.
She was having sex with a dude, right? Yeah, I remember
that one.
What was that? I think 2... Oh.
But I love her whole arc, and that was the start of some really cool stuff.
Yeah,
with her.
that was very cool too.
Yeah, 209 maybe. Yeah. And you, PJ?
I have like several episodes.
You only pick one.
I can only pick one. All right, if I can only pick one, I was going to say the one where we had the alternate android in the first. I mean the girl who plays Batwoman. I forget her name.
Oh yeah,
Rose.
Yeah, Rose. Yeah.
I was gonna say her, but if I had to pick one, I would say. See, I snuck 2 in.
Yeah.
I would say with the one where Nix dies.
Yeah, that was a really good one too, PJ, with the whole space station and
because I figured out how Nix is still alive.
Oh.
I have an idea how Nix is still alive.
No one ever really dies in sci-fi.
And what about you, Joe?
Well, I'm curious to know how Nick survived.
She's a clone.
I'm gonna tell you off screen in case it's a good idea.
All right.
Okay.
But what about you, Joe? Is there a favorite?
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's tough for me because it's not like having kids where it's very easy to pick a favorite. Episodes are. I would say a close second is the Showdown of the Palace, episode 312. But I think my heart belongs to a good, funny time travel episode. So 309. Isn't that a paradox? Is probably my favorite.
What about Akemi? What's her favorite episode?
309, definitely 309.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
She was really looking forward to rewatching that one.
Oh, that's cute.
Joe, I want to. This question has come up very often, and I want maybe you can address it again. But I do want to add this one little detail that in the recent past, many people have come to me saying, "Why doesn't Joe just crowdfund, but crowdfund with crypto, with like Bitcoin?"
Couple of reasons. I don't know kind of the financials of how that would work, for one, whether we'd be able to get anywhere near enough money. 2, 3, in terms of sort of the Bitcoin angle, I have like no idea. I mean, it's in sort of a total, like this kind of the whole Bitcoin crypto thing is beyond me. And 4, I feel weird asking fans for money. And it's like, you know, I love the fact that fandoms have supported me through Stargate and Dark Matter, and something like sort of I tried to give back by, like, you know, doing the podcasts for free, doing, you know, basically uploading the behind the scenes photos, doing this with you guys. And I don't know, I just feel weird asking them for money when I could hopefully get the money from like a streamer or you know, or a network.
Now,
But most fans are
idea, but I
happy
just
to
kinda-
give it though, because they want to see that and they understand that everything costs money. So
What if I have an idea that bridges the gap between the two?
Oh, what is that idea?
Because I recently got a voice acting role, boom, in a podcast series.
Congratulations.
What you could do, yeah, I play a barmaid.
Really?
And as someone is, I don't drink, it's kind of hilarious. But what you could do is do a Dark Matter podcast, just get enough to, you know, support the overhead and everything. And then, Joe, you could narrate like the transitions between the scenes, like 5 walks onto the bridge. And then you have the actual actors just do a voice recording that we don't have to worry about who's on what shows or even bringing them back to Canada.
Yes, that's a possibility, but it will require me to write 13 scripts or yeah, or potentially 26 scripts.
get on it, Joe. I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. I like the idea. It's just a lot of work.
That's where the crowdfunding comes in. Just think of them as bribes. It works.
I just want to say there's a lot of young guys out there, especially young guys who put in $1,000 and all of a sudden they're Bitcoin millionaires out there. So who knows?
Not recently. Not recently.
Yeah.
Those Bitcoin millionaires have fallen on some hard times lately, but maybe we'll turn it around. You know what? Maybe I'll you know, I'm going to wait till it dips. It goes down to maybe around 14,000 again. I'll put whatever, let's say 10 grand in. And then once it hits, what are they saying? 250,000? You guys do the math. You know, I'll have enough for not quite an episode, I think. So
Oh, that's funny.
Thanks, John Burns. All the time when there was still a chance that dunking the Cosmic Donut might have led to the fall of the House of Ishida.
Oh my God. That's hilarious, John.
Thank you, John.
Are you drinking? What's going on?
John always gives us every once in a while he throws in a really fun super chat. Great! People are subbing to Maria. Thank you, guys. And we're going to be doing Orville Nation in Espanol. Please sub. Kisses to Suji.
Also in the chat, thank you. Suji appreciates the kisses. In the chat, write down your favorite episodes in the comment section.
Yeah, let's do that. Everybody do that, and we're gonna put them up. Everybody put down your favorite episodes. And another option, if Joe is a friend in comics still, is that has come up before. A comic motion comic, still frame comics, or just
I
a plain
still have
comic.
hope, guys. I have hope. He's gonna get an actual miniseries.
I'm with you.
Don't count him out.
I'm with you.
And by hope you mean you're going to drive up to the Netflix company door and just sit outside until they give it to us.
Hey, I mean, I'm not
We'll have our
opposed.
matching socks. It'll be perfect.
But
He's at the pub.
I'm definitely. I don't know. I have faith, especially after this podcast. I think, like, you know, people are kind of talking about Dark Matter again. There's a lot of good, fresh eyes on the show. Like, you know, a lot of people have started watching it again. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
And socks.
Time loop episode.
There's socks.
Yeah, so Blackjack says time loop episode.
Everyone's doing time loop episode.
Let's see what everybody says.
A lot of time loop episodes. I've seen the other side of you, 205.
Yeah.
Nikki says the blink drive mishap in the end in the past, and then boobs. Not another time says time loop. Lauren says the time loop episode was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
For once, I actually agree with a fandom. How incredible is this?
Wow, so crazy.
All the time in the world.
Well,
The time loop. 203, I've seen the other side of you, says Colin. Cool.
yeah.
And we may not be remembering some of our favorite episodes just because it's a jumble of in our heads, but
We gotta do another rewatch.
Yes, exactly. Get on that.
Yeah, it's like I'll be lying in bed later tonight and I'll be like, oh, it's this episode that I really wanted to talk about. But
and Sound of Graver says it's been 2 years. I thought it was all great. And Sound of Graver, put in your channel, please. Everybody, guys, who has a wrench, please put in your channel, and especially sub to Katie and Nina, of course, as well.
We're getting closer to 1,000, guys.
yay, Katie! Here, let me put your link.
We gotta do a 1K celebration on your channel, Katie.
Oh, there will be. It'll just be me out in a field with a tornado, just being like, "Thanks, guys. Here's a view."
Joe, people love the music.
Yes.
Is there any commentary on this?
I mean, Ben Pinkerton has a YouTube channel where you can sort of go and listen to the various tracks. And I remember, he was talking about putting together a soundtrack at one point, but I don't think anything ever came of it. In fact, I reached out to Ben about being a guest on the show, but I think I just have an old email for him. So sadly, we missed that opportunity.
Okay. We would love to talk to Ben sometime. Sean P. All the Time in the World is my favorite. Anthony really gets to use all his acting chops.
Yeah.
Jeff Beeler says Dwarf Star Conspiracy, The Double Deception, Cried in Karina, The Accelerated.
These are all the hints at future episodes.
All the things that could be.
And it was great to have...
which one was the one that is that? Is that the one that 5 sees yes. forward in time? Is that the one? Yeah. That was a really good one too.
That was a time loop episode.
Yeah, that was so good.
Sarah Jett says season 1, episode 7, season 2, episode 3, season 3, episode 4. Cool.
Episode 3, season that's another one. Seeing the Other Side of You, season 3, episode 4 was a time loop episode, and season 1, 7 was. I think was that the Wendy the Robot episode? Or was that 9? No, it was 7. Yeah, it was 7.
Can't remember the name. Time Prophecies can't remember the name of my favorite episode, but it was the one with 5 and 3 on the planet, and 3 hurt his leg.
Yes,
that's the one Katie liked.
Yeah.
All the Time in the World, says Neil. No problem doing a rewatch. I think I'm at least on 7. Since everyone's saying the time loop, since uncharismatic music, season 1, episode 7, which I'm not sure which one is that.
I think that's the Ruby Rose episode.
Oh, the Ruby Rose. Isn't that a paradox? Is Susanna? John says time loop episode. I'm a sucker for time loops.
It's funny because I did. Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Up to Katie.
I did an online poll where basically I sort of broke it down and we did kind of a tournament. And in the end, it was actually episode 304, All the Time in the World, versus episode 309. Isn't that a paradox? And 304 won. I did the same thing for Stargate and Window of Opportunity. The other time loop episode won. So there's something about time loop episodes, I think. That resonates with the fandom.
Yeah, but you like writing those too, and it shows.
Yeah, they are kind of fun. Yeah.
Garrett says season 1, episode 6, because it was the first time we got to see Yodel's character. And I can't. Joe, by the way, let me just finish this. Yodel's acting range and hints of Rio's past. I know some. I've known girls with the same name, and when we had Jodelle on, I always call her Yodel instead of Jodelle.
It's understandable though. It's
yeah.
understandable because you're Spanish though. You guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please sub to the Time Prophet guys, and please sub to Sound Engraver, and to Adega. By the way, Adega author Adega Outlaw does narrations of his books, which is it's a really good listen. You guys might want to check that out.
Ooh.
And Jeff, isn't that a paradox? Especially for the scene with Melissa's dog.
Oh yeah, that was a great scene.
Good answer.
Yes, good answer, Colin. Good answer, Colin. And guys, Nina Infinity, she is growing fast. She is. You're on fire, Nina.
Thank you.
Yes, the one with Kill Them All, says Susan.
Oh, Kill Them All was great.
Yeah.
Hello, Lady Mist. Big hug to you, my friend, and your family. Unfortunately, if anybody hasn't heard, those two young people did not come home. So, our love to you and your family, Lady Mist. Yeah, they. The only reason I'm saying it is because a lot of people still haven't heard. They were. It was not good. So. They had apparently had an accident. So our love to your family, Lady Mist. And I've been trying to play the song plays during 3 and Sarah's scenes on piano.
Oh, cool.
And Lady Mist, I apologize for bringing that up. I'm sure you didn't want to hear it. There was just people asking me today. They still haven't heard. That's the only reason. I apologize for bringing that up, my friend.
Boobs and hot chocolate. That's all you really need.
Yes, Kill Them All, says Tony.
Wait, was that Kill Them All episode the same episode that one dies? Because I hate that episode.
No, that was he dies at the end of 1, and then 2 is the Kill Them All episode.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that looks like we've gone through everybody's favorite episodes. So
we have so many people in the comments. It's incredible.
Yeah, again, guys, I want everybody in the chat. You guys can everybody just ovation, clap your hands for Joe because this has been an amazing experience.
Thank you, everyone, for taking part. We'll do this again sometime, hopefully for the mini-series. And I'll keep you posted on developments on that front.
Cool.
It's been an absolute pleasure, Joe. I mean, it's just I can't even put it into words.
Right,
Just
you have no idea.
Getting to know you and talking to you about one of my favorite series of all time. It's been so cool.
Well,
This definitely helped me get through the whole 2020 year and beyond. And now I'm actually, streaming and stuff. Like, I'd like to think that this show started that. So, thank you.
That's so cool.
Thank you. And to everybody watching at home, thank you. As I said, let's do this again when we get the miniseries off the ground.
We'll be back. We'll be back with when the miniseries starts.
Right.
For an actual episodic review for this panel. It'll be great.
Joe, we all feel this way. What Matt says, you just say the word. And,
yeah.
And
the mob.
We'll get it trending.
Right.
Make fake accounts.
I will
share it
definitely
everywhere.
let you know.
Whatever we have to do. I mean, Katie's ready to go stalk people.
Just saying, I have a lot of free time.
I'm absolutely okay with that.
Katie, you should do dark matter Easter eggs in your daily broadcast or something.
I should. There's a little bookshelf behind our main studio set that shows up on air, and I had my little TARDIS jewelry box and my Spock on it, and eventually someone caught on. But I could sneak something in.
I want to, and just there's a few questions about what's going on Mondays. We are going to do Sci-Fi Monday, and we will make an announcement this week of what we're going to be doing for Mondays. And I would like to give Joe the last word. Go ahead, Joe. Thank you.
No, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's tuned in week after week. Thank you so much to the panel. Great friendships were born. And a special thanks to PJ for really
Yay,
organizing it,
PJ!
week in and week out, and then, doing such a wonderful job hosting. Thank you.
It was an honor, Joe. It was really, it was, I got to tell you, every time when I go back and look at your involvement from Stargate, because that's kind of where I know you from, like many of us, you're and now seeing more how your writing style, like now we've learned more about your writing style, and now I go back and I see Joe in Stargate all over the place. And
I'm never going to be able to well, first of all, I have to finish Stargate now, but I'm never going to be able to look at Stargate the same way again because I'm going to be like, it's Joe.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things in there. It's like, that's got to be Joe.
Yeah.
So thank you to everybody. Just one last super chat from John. Or to help hawk my t-shirts, Joe.
There you go.
The guy you couldn't wear my t-shirt.
Probably couldn't.
Oh, you could?
Maybe on a storm chase.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you to everybody on the panel, and again, thank you to Nina, Adega, and Katie, and everybody else who has joined us. Gap, Tom, Matt, Nikki, everybody who's been and Yitza, guys. Yitza, who did who did that portrait of that cartoon portrait of dark matter. Make sure if any creators out there, you make sure you are using Yitza. We're going to be promoting Yitza this week, and just thanks to everybody. You guys, everybody has been great. There's truly a dark matter family, and we appreciate that. So thank you, Matt, Rapunzel, Lady Mist.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Perry, everybody. Thank you, William, Allen, Neil, John Burns, Jeff Beeler, Tony Rodriguez, Galinda, Maria, everybody. Celine, Susanna, everybody. Thank you. You guys have a blessed week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.